Hello there, Sharp Edge fans. This is the Intrepid Sharpener from Sharp Edge Sharpening. We're a professional sharpening service here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And when we sharpen for customers, one of the most frequent questions we get is how to care for your knives and tools in between sharpening to maintain that keen edge that they've just obtained. So we're going to walk through what we call stropping today. That's my favorite means of keeping my own knives and tools sharp in between sharpenings, and even sometimes while I'm working. So you can see the first thing that is necessary before any sharpening project is a good cup of coffee. This is Cranky's Coffee Sumatra that I just ground the beans on a few minutes ago. So now that we're fueled by Cranky's, you can see that this is a strop that I made a few days ago. And I've been making strops for some time. You can make them a lot of different ways. This is simply a piece of leather that is glued to a flat piece of wood with the fuzzy side up. And the reason we glue the fuzzy side up is it accepts the compound, the abrasive compound better, and you don't have to raise the edge of the knife, which you'll see later, that much in order to get an effective polishing of your honed blade. So you can also glue canvas onto a piece of wood or anything flat for that matter. You can make them different shapes and sizes, different profiles, depending on what tool you want to touch up. I also like to, on the bottom, glue some rubber feet, so if you're working on your kitchen counter or your workbench, it won't slide around while you're stropping. One of the things that I've already done is put a coat of mineral oil on here, and really you don't have to do that very often, but I think it's a good thing to do before you use your strop the first time. It helps the strop compound work into the leather a little bit better. This is a stropping compound that's it's called white gold, but there's lots of different sharpening compounds out there. You want to get the least abrasive compound that you can find. You can get it at woodworking stores, even hardware stores, but get the the least abrasive. You can certainly get more aggressive abrasives, but it's going to wear away more of your knife or tool each time you strop. And stropping is a great way of maintaining your knife or tools in between sharpenings, but if your knife is already dull, it's really not a good way to actually sharpen your knife. It would take a long time and most likely just make your knife duller. It'll round over your bevel rather than making it sharper. So you see I didn't put too much of the compound on the strop. Today we're going to be working with, this is a brand new knife I just got the other day, and came pretty sharp out of the box, but I think we can make it a little bit sharper by using this stropping process. So this is a shun, comes in a nice little carrying case. I really like the feel of it and the shape. It's nice and light, has a nice little mosaic pin in the middle there, and again comes with a pretty keen edge. So we're just going to test it quickly here and see how it does. Well, you can see it catches and tears a little bit on the paper. This is just one way to test the sharpness of a knife. I thought it was a little bit sharper than that, but I guess I've been using a little bit too. So this ought to be a good demonstration to see if we can get a nice keen edge on there. So again, I've knocked over the sign, but that was a good segue. This is, again, we're from Sharp Edge, www.sharpedgesharpening.com in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, 336-409-4712. I hope you can all see that on the video. So now that we have our knife and our out and our strop is charged with very fine compound, we're going to get the compound out of the way. First thing you want to do is lay the knife completely flat against the strop leather. So you can see that the spine is laying right up against the strop. There's no space between the spine and the leather whatsoever. And all you're going to do for stropping is just lift that spine a little bit. Okay, that's all you need to do to get those little leather fingers to work the fine edge of your knife. Okay, so once we do that, we're going to bring it to the edge and just stroke backwards. You don't want to stroke forwards because your knife will catch into the leather, probably make your knife duller as well. So you want to stroke backwards. Okay, again, just barely lifting that spine if you're watching the spine. Get that compound. You don't have to do it that hard. I'm doing it with one hand so you can see a little bit better. You see I'm lifting up a little bit just to get the tip. But what you want to avoid is some people, especially that are new to the process, have a tendency to on the back stroke, when the further they get back, the more they lift the spine. You want to avoid that because you're going to be polishing it, but you're going to be rolling over the edge of the blade and making it duller faster than necessary. So again, keep it nice, consistent, just barely lifting the spine, stroking it all the way through. I actually like to count my strokes on each side, do the same amount of strokes on each side as I'm stropping. But for this exercise today, I've already lost count, so I'm just going to guesstimate. So the other thing that you can do, I'm going to tilt this a little bit so I don't knock over the sign again, is use two hands, particularly with flexible knives and tools. Two hands, stroke all the way back through the full length of the blade. And the reason for that is not to apply more pressure. Again, you don't need too much pressure, but it gives me a little bit more control, at least I feel. So, and this is where those rubber feet help it from sliding around as you use both hands to strop the knife. Okay. And we'll do a few on the other side. And you really don't have to do it that much. I like to finish off by just one or two strokes very lightly on each side. And let's see how we did here. I'm going to wipe off some of the abrasive that built up on there. Nice and shiny now. Polishes really the whole blade with that abrasive. Has a tendency to get spread along the face of the knife as well, and keeps your knives looking really clean. Now, of course, if you're working on your kitchen knives, you're going to want to make sure you wash them carefully by hand with soap and water before using them, because there's going to be some microscopic metal particles and, of course, some of the abrasive on the knife. So definitely do that before you use this to prepare food. Let's get our piece of paper back out, see if we might need to strop this a little bit more. But, well, actually, You can see that just the little bit of time that we spent on that, we've made that knife quite a bit sharper. So there you have it. This is the Intrepid Sharpener from Sharp Edge Sharpening in Winston-Salem. www.sharpedgesharpening.com. We're at 336-409-4712. Feel free to check us out on Facebook, check out our website, or give us a call if you have any questions about either stropping or anything else you need to know about knife or tool care. We'd be happy to answer your questions. All right, well, thanks a lot, Sharp Edge fans. We will see you next time.